Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Be Yourself. This is Dr. Rajni Sharma and today we will be discussing about the lectin pathway, which is the last pathway of the complement system. So whenever any pathogens enters inside our body, antibodies are produced against them. And during this process, complement system is also activated. But sometimes when there is no antibodies produced, even on that condition also complement system is activated. So these two pathway, last pathway which was the alternative pathway and this lectin pathway is completely antibody independent, and they got activated by recognizing certain component which are present on the outer wall of the pathogens. So this is also just like the alternative pathway, it is independent of the antibodies. So what exactly and how it activated, let's discuss about the lectin pathway. Lectin pathway though do not activated by the presence of antibody, but it is very much similar to that of the classical pathway. Only the initiation step is different. So as in the complement system, classical complement system, what we have seen that first antibody comes and bind on the surface of the antigens or the recognizes the antigens. So in that case, C1q was the component which was recognizing the antibody or the Fc receptor of the antibody, and then classical system activated. But here, just like that, another component is there which is known as MBL, which is the mannose binding lectin. So this is, suppose this is a mannose binding lectin, but it is not the exact structure of that. Just suppose that it is a mannose binding lectin. So what it will do, it will go and recognize the mannose sugar which are present over the surface of the pathogens. So we all know that in our cells also the cells has certain marker molecules, and they are present in the form of either glycoprotein or glycolipids. So in the plasma membrane, we all know, suppose this is the one unit of the plasma membrane which is a phospholipid. If carbohydrate groups are attached on this phospholipid, then that is known as glycolipid. And also in our plasma membrane, it consisting of proteins. So there can be different types of protein which I already have discussed in cell biology in case of plasma membrane. So you can go and cite from there. If the carbohydrates are linked to the protein molecules, either transmembrane or integral or peripheral protein, then those carbohydrate chain is known as glycoprotein. So here in the glycoprotein or glycolipids, what happens, it is consisting of a sequence of the or a chain of the carbohydrate. So the presence of mannose sugar actually invites the binding of mannose binding lectin. So it is also known as MBL. So it will invite the binding of MBL, which is a mannose binding lectin, and this mannose binding lectin will recognize the mannose group or carbohydrate present on the surface of the pathogens. After that, just like that of the classical pathway, in the classical pathway, what we have seen, C1q on activation will activate C1R, 2 and S2 molecule. But instead of R2 and S2, they are present MASP molecule, MASP1 and MASP2, which stand for MBL associated serine protease. So these serine protease will act as an enzyme, and this will cleave C4 complement system 4 and complement system 2, just like that of the classical pathway. So here also the complement system 4 will attach with the MASP component from its N terminal, and this N terminal is having alpha chain, whereas C4 also consisting of beta and gamma, which all together constitute the bigger molecule of the C4 component. And we all know that in the complement system, each complement system break down into a smaller molecule and the bigger one. So here also this will break down, and just like that of the classical pathway, what will happen, C4 molecule or C4b, this will constitute a beta and gamma together will constitute C4b, and C2a will come and bind over the surface of the pathogen. These form the C3 convertase. Now these C3 convertase will able to cleave or enzymatically cleave the complement system 3 into two parts. A smaller part will remain active in the bloodstream and it will activate the further component of the immune system like phagocytosis, inflammation and other immunological response. Whereas C3b, once activated, it will produce a cascade mechanism and it will activate number of other C3 molecules, C3 component, and this will also deposit it over the surface of the pathogenic cell. This C3 component, when it has combined with the C4b, C4a, so this basically C4b, C2a, and when C3b is also combined to this, then this will form now the C5 convertase. Now just like that of the classical pathway, what we have seen, C5 convertase will have the ability to cleave or lyse the C5 component of the complement system into the smaller and the bigger molecule, and as we have seen that C5b component will go away from this component and this will get inserted on the membrane of the pathogen. So this C5 convertase, how it has been activated, unlike that of the complement system, classical complement system, what was required there? There was a requirement of the antibody, but here we just required the mannose group which are present on the surface of the pathogen. Now let us zoom out. Just we have seen in the classical pathway what will happen when we zoom over the surface of the bacterial or pathogenic cells. What we have seen that C5 component has inserted itself on the surface of the pathogens. Binding of C5b component will activate the C6 component and finally C7 component. As soon as C7 component come and bind over the surface of the surface membrane of the pathogens, what will happen? We all know that phospholipid is having a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. So binding of C5 component will lead to shifting of the plasma membrane in such a way, so it will shift in such a way that the hydrophobic component or the hydrophobic tail will be exposed out, so that it will lead to the binding of the another component of the complement system, which is C8. So C8 can insert itself up to the hydrophobic region of the plasma membrane. After that, approximately 10 to 17 component of the C9 component of the complement system will come and bind over the surface of the plasma membrane. So as we already have discussed in the classical pathway, so just I will go to the overview of this. Even the binding of C8 component creates a small pore of 10 angstrom, which is enough to kill the cells which do not have nucleus, just like that of the RBCs. But in the case of pathogens, we need the complement system 9 to bind over this. So when we look at the overview or from the top of the pathogenic surface, then what we will analyze, this is C5b component, C6 component, 7, 8, and now here only you are able to see here only 2 component, C9 component, but actually it will vary from 10 to 17 in number. These all together actually form the membrane binding complex, membrane attacking complex. This membrane attacking complex will create a pore over the surface of the cell, and this pore will range from 70 to 100 angstrom. This is enough to kill any pathogens. How it will be killed? Creation of the pore will lead to rushing of water and iron molecules inside the cells, and then obviously what will happen when there will be much osmotic pressure will be created, cell will undergo lysis. So this is the whole process of the lectin pathway. So we have seen whether classical pathway, alternative pathway or lectin pathway, whatever pathway is been activated in the complement system, it is causing the lysis of the cell. And a brief history we already have discussed in our first very class of the complement system. So if you have missed that, you can go and watch that from the playlist. Now Coming to the overview of the lectin pathway, what we have seen, just like that of the classical pathway, it is activating C3 convertase and C5 convertase, but only difference with the classical pathway is that the initiation step. In the classical pathway, what we were having first binding of the antibody, but here the MBL component or the mannose binding ligand will come and bind over the mannose sugar present on the surface of the pathogens, and this will activate the MASP1 and 2 component, which will lead to the activation of C2 and C4 component. Here it will bind to C4b and 2A come and bind over the pathogenic surface to form the C3 convertase, which then cleave the C3 component into two half, not a particularly half portion, rather into the smaller and bigger unit. This smaller unit will go in the bloodstream and it will activate the further immune system, whereas C3b will come and combine with this already C3 convertase to form the C5 convertase, and this C5 convertase will lead to the activation of the C5 component of the complement system. This C5b will then activate the other complement system 6, 7, 8 and 9 respectively, and this all together form the membrane attacking complex, which is enough to kill the cell by the help of lysis. So these are all about the complement system. So we are now and with the complement system. So in the next class we will study about the processing of the antigens. So just like the food which we eat, we do not eat that raw, even when there are certain foods which we eat raw, but even before that what we do, we wash that, we peel off that if needed. So just like that, in our body also, the antigens which enter inside our body do not activate the immune system as it is. It needs to be processed somewhat. So we will see how the processing take place and how they will induce the self-mediated immunity in our body. So don't forget to subscribe and share my channel. Till then, goodbye, take care, stay at home and be yourself.